I don't know about you guys, but I despise the Joy-Cons on the Nintendo Switch almost as much as I hate working for Tom Nook every time I start an Animal Crossing game. These things are so unbelievably uncomfortable, and gaming on the go with this is a pain in the rear. So every time I go anywhere, I bring my Nintendo Switch Pro controller, which can also be a pain in the butt by itself because you have to bring more than one thing with you. But what if I said I had a solution? I was sent this product to review. I'm not affiliated with this company and I'm not being paid to say anything. But the Fixture Gaming S2 is a unit that you can put your Pro controller and your Switch screen together in one beautiful thing. So I wanted to test whether this is really something that is comfortable, whether it's worth the price that they are charging for it, and if this is really a viable way to do portable gaming that fixes the Joy-Con problem. So come with me as we try to review the S2 Fixture Game handheld unit. So right off the bat, let's just talk about some of the specs of the unit. This has a unique two-hinge design that provides an optimal balancing for comfortable handheld gaming. Now, whenever you're sitting in different positions, the different two hinges are letting you not only control where the screen is, but also at the base where the controller is. So the balancing, regardless of what position you're trying to sit in, you can cater it to you, making the balance not feel so off and make it a little bit more comfortable for long-term gaming in handheld mode. The S2 is specifically made for the OLED model, not so much for the original Switch, but there is the S1. So if you're still gaming with the original Nintendo Switch and this seems like something you want to go ahead and grab, you can get it for the original Switch as well. It was designed to have easy access to be able to charge not only your unit but your controller, which is something I really appreciate about this unit because I was concerned that with the controller snapping in like it does, that you wouldn't be able to charge any of your units while you're trying to game, but that is no concern here. They have that taken care of. Honestly, one of my all-time favorite features of this is the carrying case that it came with. I have flown multiple times on flights that are 6 hours plus, and it is such a pain to have to carry around a Nintendo Switch in a carrying case and a Pro controller, but this solves that problem as well. The carrying case is actually designed for the unit to completely collapse within itself with a mold that fits the Pro controller, so that you can fit it into a carrying case that not only fits that, but also game cartridges and a little bit of a bonus area for any extra things you want to bring with you, making this the optimal way to travel with a handheld Switch. And last but not least, you can also play with this in tabletop mode, so if you're wanting to set it on a table and game with yourself or with your friends, the base does make this able to put it on a table and just game from there. So I've been gaming with this unit for a few weeks. When I got the review product, I said I wanted to test it out for a few weeks because ultimately I don't want to advertise anything on my channel if I don't think it's actually a good product. So I played with it for a couple weeks and I've got some pros and cons for you. Surprisingly, when you slide the OLED Switch inside of it, it's a very, very tight fit. I was a little bit nervous about having a unit where if you were tossing it around or maybe you accidentally fell asleep, if it would actually slide out a little bit. That is not the case. It is crazy tight in there. Not so tight that I'm worried about the unit. I'm actually very glad they didn't do the unit that collapses in on it because I can put a lot of pressure on it. This one is specifically designed that when you slide it in, it's fitting the little brackets on the side where the Joy-Cons go. So that alone for me was something that I really appreciated. I don't personally pay for a Nintendo Online, but if you do and you're playing any of the Nintendo Game Boy Advance games on the Switch, this is honestly probably the best way to do it. Like I said, I don't like gaming with the Joy-Con, so when you have that Pro controller with that screen in front of you, it's almost like the ultimate Game Boy Advance experience, which I know this isn't what it's specifically designed for, but hands down, this has got to be the best way to play those games. Honestly, this was the most comfortable while sitting on the couch. Now, I could imagine playing this anywhere in the car, on a plane, but on the couch, I found that to be my most favorite spot to play with this is just sitting there with that screen there, comfortable on a couch, pretty much sitting at a 90-degree angle. It's really cool because when you're holding it like that, instead of having it on the table, the screen just appears bigger because it's closer to you. So that made it, a lot of the games look really cool. Now, I tried playing a few games like Pokemon Diamond, which is optimal for handheld gaming, to Stardew Valley, which I would say with all of the different things on the screen, I wouldn't recommend that for mobile gaming. But for the most part, the games were playable, they were fun, and it was comfortable. I mean, I would honestly be more than happy to have this when I fly a 6-hour flight again, because that basically solves all of the problems I've ever had. I don't have very many cons. I actually really enjoyed this product, but one of them is where the controller rests, there is a little bracket that holds it into place, and it has to be there, of course, but when you're gaming for a while, you can often feel it there and it's a little bit distracting. I think eventually you do get used to it. It's not like the end of the world, but I did notice that while gaming, I was holding my Pro Controller, that I could feel that little bridge underneath quite often, and it made it just feel just slightly uncomfortable compared to just holding the Pro Controller on its own. One thing I also noticed is I like gaming on the couch, and if you want to lay like sideways, this is perfect for, you know, up and down and sitting upright. But if you want to sit to the side, the 2 hinge doesn't actually turn like a 360 degree, and I think that would be a really cool future feature to add to it, where you can actually tilt the screen to the side, because sometimes when I'm gaming on the couch, I'm leaning off to the side, and it would be really cool to have the screen switch. So that made it a little bit uncomfortable because I'd lean a little hard on one of my elbows and it would make my arm go numb. So in the future, if they ever do like a 3D type, well, not 3D, but 360 type thing, I think that would be a really cool feature to add. I don't know about you, but one of the things I was dying to know is how heavy is this thing? Is it comfortable to carry around for long periods of time? And like, how much does the whole thing together actually weigh? So I wanted to figure that out for you guys real quick. Ultimately, this has been a really cool unit to test out. It's the first review product I've been sent, so thank you so much at Fixture Gaming for sending me the S2 to review. This honestly has solved every problem I've had with handheld gaming, from getting rid of those stupid Joy-Cons to having the whole unit by itself in a travel case that makes it easy and portable to carry around. I'll link the store in the description down below, and they were kind enough to give us a code AZIRA, A-Z-I-R-A, to get $8 off your order if you decide you want to pick up one of these guys, which I promise you, you will not regret it. It has solved so many of my problems. And you might be thinking to yourself, with the Switch 2 coming out, why would you want to buy something like this now? Now is the perfect time to collect for the Nintendo Switch. As the new system comes out, people are going to lose interest in the Nintendo Switch, which makes this the time to start collecting and playing for the Nintendo Switch and saving a couple of bucks and being comfortable while playing in handheld mode. Thank you guys so much for checking this video out. Let me know what you thought of this unit in the comments down below. Let me know if you have one and what your thoughts are of it. But thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget, there's a pixelated world waiting out there for you.